Hello, and welcome everyone. Evil Abe wasn't happy with his latest West Memphis 3 stream. He would like to try that again as he is better prepared this time. Thank you for your consideration. So let's begin once again with the return to West Memphis 3.
Assuring me that I'm insane. They think our heads are in their hands, but violent use brings violent plans. Keep him tight, it makes him well. He's getting better, can't you tell? No more can they keep us in. Listen, damn it, we will win. They see it's right, they see it well, but they think this saves us from our
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Evil A, back again here at the Highway to Hell to do a rendition or a redo, if you will. For those that may have seen me do this already, I feel like I can bring more and I can be better prepared this time. I'll say that. But I would first like to say this. What is the breaking news? What is Damien's shocking new claim? Let's go straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news! Let's do it.
It's one of those things. This is really very difficult to talk about in a lot of ways, but I think it was someone who was, and I don't want to say too much yet, but this is one of the reasons we're pushing so hard for this DNA testing, is I think it was someone connected to the police department.
That would make sense.
Do you have, you don't have to say who, but do you have an idea of the person, or just that it's somebody connected?
I do. I have an idea of the person. I mean, keep in mind, this story in a lot of ways there's so much more to it, and it's so much deeper than people think. For example, everybody knows about the guy, Jerry Driver, that, he was this juvenile cop that had harassed me for years. But he was part of a very small juvenile task force that was made up of 3 people. These 3 guys used to come through our neighborhood. Like I said, once again, poor white trash. Nobody cares about these kids. They used to come through our neighborhood, and I don't know what all you can say on here, ratings or wise or whatever, but they would basically come through the neighborhood, pick up young boys, and say, either you give me a blowjob or you're going to jail. There were 3 of these guys.
They were cops that were using the power of the police department to rape young boys.
Yes.
Wow.
2 of them are now dead. One of them was forced to resign after he was caught molesting a boy in a public bathroom.
I'm sorry for laughing, but it sounds like that should be the lead in the investigation in your case right there. Someone who's targeting children.
Whoa, everybody. Jerry Driver was the name he said. And wow, there went Damien. Those are some really shocking claims, if you ask me. Holy shit. He's really wanting to mess around, huh? Damien's doing it up again. But also, welcome Coked Out Mike Tyson, Bunny Cha Cha, everybody coming in. I also want to showcase a great combo that he also said is his, Damien's heroes in life here. If Damien has to name 2 heroes in his life, what would they be, Damien?
So what we're trying to do right now, like the DNA testing that we want to do, it's come far enough where, like I said, they can do things that they couldn't even do in 2011. One of the things they can do now is they still have the ligatures that they removed from the children, the shoestrings. Whenever they removed them, they didn't untie them, they just cut them so that the knots are preserved. They could do DNA testing now. What we're asking them to do is untie those knots and DNA test the inside of those knots, and you would find the skin cells of whoever tied those knots.
Wow.
They can do that now. That's what we're asking them to do. And I forgot the question. What were we just talking about?
I don't know.
And I always say that the 2 biggest people that I don't know in real life that played a huge role in shaping who I am would be Aleister Crowley and Joel Osteen.
Oh, yes. What a dynamic duo there. Aleister Crowley and Joel Osteen, right? And did you hear him say that he wants them to untie the knots, right? I bet he does. Because all 3 of those knots are different. Because all 3 of y'all did it, in my opinion. But there was also that clip about him wanting them to untie the knots now so they can get the DNA underneath them. I bet you do want that to happen. But what's up to Abby? Everybody coming in? I want to keep this really short and sweet in a way. I also want to give Grandpa, the ultimate epic country grandpa, justice. And let's go into that right now, everybody. We're going to go into Geraldo. Who remembers Geraldo? But this has got to be the most epic grandpa ever. But before that, let's take a look and get to know more about this story if you're unfamiliar from Geraldo.
Brings joy to most families, but in the house of Marie Hicks and her daughter Pam Hobbs, it is a painful and torturous event. Pam's 8-year-old son Stephen was sexually molested and brutally murdered, along with 2 other 8-year-old boys, Michael Moore and Christopher Byers. It happened in West Memphis, Arkansas on May 5th, 1993. Christopher had also been castrated. Charged in the brutal murders were 3 local teenagers. Jesse Miskelly Jr., 18. Damien Eccles, 18, and Jason Baldwin, just 16. The parents of one of the murdered boys yelled at Damien on his way to a court appearance.
Hey, faggot! What you look like, a faggot?
Well, then. But a lot of people, these people, these three, the West Memphis three, if you didn't know, were released on the Alfred plea, ladies and gentlemen. They're walking free now, but it's still on their record. I think it's wrong. A lot of celebrities got involved, the Dixie Chicks, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, Peter Jackson, to name a few, and everything like that. I do believe that they're guilty. I know that the Lab is another YouTuber that also agrees with that statement, that he believes that they're guilty. I've always said that those knots that are tied differently on all three of them boys really tell me that three different people did it, because they're all tied differently, them knots. That stands out to me. A lot of confessions by that guy that they want to say is mentally challenged, but he's right there on the line of it. And he gave a lot of details that nobody could give unless you were there. I'll say that. But there's many things I could say to point to their guilt. He also broke a bottle of Jack Daniels, the slow one there, Miss Kelly. He broke a bottle of Jack Daniels at a bridge after the murders. And he led the cops back to that bridge. The broken bottle was there. So I guess if you want to go at how truthful he was being, he didn't lie about that bottle being broken. So why would he lie about other stuff, right? I find that interesting as well. But get your Kleenexes out. We got to go straight to it. The most epic country grandpa ever, describing what those bastards did. Let's go to the grandpa on Geraldo.
Do you believe this was a devil worship cult? Do you believe this was a satanic organization, or these boys were in some way connected? And how do you respond to that?
Yes, I definitely believe that it was. At the time of the murders, Satanic was a world of its own. It was something that wasn't even in my mind. But as time progresses and goes on, and we've learned a little more, studied a little more, and went along with it, at all points from what we've read and studied, yes, it was a satanic type murder.
What's your reaction? I know you folks are nervous about being on TV. What's your reaction to what happened to your grandson?
Well, him and a couple little boys were just beautiful little boys playing. Those little boys still believe in Santa Claus and the Easter bunnies. They were playing in the woods called Robin Hood Park, where all the neighborhood kids play at. And evidently they've run up on something. And those boys were cruelly beaten to death.
Let's go further with part two here. I had to cut it in two for the length of it. Let's go ahead with the grandpa.
They were beaten to death. I saw my grandson at the funeral home before he was taken out of a body bag, just like he came back from the corner. And it was pitiful.
Tell us. Help us understand that. What did they do to him?
What did they do to him? His jaw was completely tore loose from his face. His eye was busted in the socket. His chest and all was kicked and stomped. His face was kicked and stomped. It's just pitiful, pitiful. It's something that a decent human being wouldn't even do to a live dog, let alone a human being.
Did a feeling of rage swell up in you?
Well, naturally, you know, the feeling of rage swollen up. Yes, it's swollen up. Yeah, it did.
Did you want to go out and find his murderers yourself?
Naturally, you know that too. Yes, I did want to go out and find these murderers myself at the time.
Do you believe that the right teenager was convicted?
Yes, I do.
I know. Cheers to that grandfather there that had to witness and see his poor grandchild's body like that. My God, that's terrible. But that whole Geraldo show there has a lot of great clips in it. That really stuck out to me. That grandfather there, I had never seen that, and so I just wanted to come on here and make sure that I did this justice and showed the right clips and brought to y'all the right stuff, with better quality, shall we say. But this is a case that keeps on going. It seems like Damien Eccles wants to take, that town or the cops to court somehow or another. When part of the Alfred plea states that Damien cannot bring any kind of a lawsuit towards the cops or the town or anything. So I guess he really didn't understand and read the fine print of the Alfred plea, now did he? Because Damien's trying to do everything he can to fucking go at him in court when the Alfred plea states clearly you can't sue for being in prison, blah blah blah. You just can't do nothing legally. But he don't understand that. But yeah, fuck Damien Eccles, fuck all of them, Miss Kelly, all the bastards I think are guilty. A lot of them's trying to make money now. I know his gap tooth wife, Damien Eccles' gap tooth fucking wife, sells poetry that you can pay money to see. Fuck her poetry. Damien's had a best-selling novel, so it's not like he's hurting for cash. I don't know why he's wanting to go and try to sue the cops and all this crap too. He's like a millionaire. Johnny Depp and all them damn celebs are damn supporting him too. But yeah, I don't understand it. I wish Damien would just go to hell. I wish they was never released because I do think that they're guilty. That's my opinion. And yes, if speaking of those documentaries, these documentaries here are very biased. The HBO documentary is entitled Paradise Lost. Yeah, very shocking intro on the first one. I can't believe HBO got away with that. My God. But yeah, they're really, really biased. If you look into different streams on YouTube and you really do the research on these three and go past the documentaries, I think that you will agree with me and others on YouTube that think that they're guilty. I know that the lab has a lot of great streams about this as well that he's done with the author of books that also thinks that they're guilty. They go through it in a lot of great ways. I would check that out. Check out the labs um content on the West Memphis 3. I highly recommend it. Got a lot of great stuff. He also agrees with me they're guilty. He has a lot of great guests come on and also state that. But thank y'all everybody for coming through. I just wanted to really redo this and at least showcase the clip that I had for the title that time. I thought that was pretty lackluster and lazy of me. But yes, thank y'all for coming through. This is a redo. I appreciate everybody that showed up. Let's see. What's up though? Jane, just me. We had Abby up in here. Appreciate everybody. Mary, good to see you. Stacy, I do remember when Geraldo got punched in the nose. That was wild. The Devil's Knot is a movie about this as well. I haven't seen that film. Have to check it out. Coked out Mike Tyson. Good to see you. But thank you everybody that came through. But that's about it, y'all. That's a wrap. Peace, love, and soul to everybody out there. And oh yeah, one more thing. Welcome to prime time, bitch!